The new Black Panther movie, Wakanda Forever, came out in theaters about a month ago, and just like everyone else that saw it instead of Avatar: The Way of Water, because of its lack of non-3D showings at your local cinema at 9 p.m., that's totally why people saw this movie, right? Either way, by now, if you haven't had a chance to see it either in theaters or in the comfort of your own home on Disney+, there's gonna be some spoilers in this video. So just go watch it, and please come back. Hello ladies and germs, and welcome to the video that took way too long to release. Before we get into it, I just wanted to preface this video with a few things. For one, I did not realize that a 2-hour and 40-minute movie would take this long to edit, and sitting here halfway through the editing process, I have no idea how long this video is going to be, so I'm sorry. I am assuming it's going to be very long. Second thing on my mind, names are really hard, so I will definitely be mispronouncing most, if not all, of the names of the characters in this movie. Please forgive me. And the last thing I want to say is that I by no means believe that this is a bad movie. This is an excellent movie. Movies are hard to make. I have realized while scripting, recording, and editing this video that this stuff is hard. So I commend all of the writers, creators of this movie, and I thank you for a movie that allows me to have content for my channel. So guess we'll just leave that there. I hope you enjoy this video, and without further ado, let's get into it. Anyways, back to the best movie I've seen all year. Granted, I saw it on January 5th and I haven't seen a single movie since then, but let me tell ya, this one's a doozy. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever starts with some lovely ASMR courtesy of our new main character, Shuri. I think it's pretty great. But if you're like me and forget every single detail of a movie the second you leave the theaters, because the only thing you can think about are the glowing red flags or tear-jerking moments, let me help you get caught up. Now, Shuri isn't just making a million-view ASMR YouTube video here. She's actually praying to the goddess Bast to save T'Challa's life. She's doing this because T'Challa has fallen terminally ill and is minutes from death. So in this scene, she's trying to artificially create the heart-shaped herb. This is only necessary because Killmonger destroyed all the other ones when he became king. So when T'Challa suddenly falls ill, Shuri has to try to make a new one. And there's only a 29.1% confidence rate, so it's basically guaranteed to fail. Between the lack of music, quiet footsteps, and the monitors beeping in the background, you can just feel the tension and urgency here. As Shuri takes the synthetic, wow, that's really hard to say. As Shuri takes the synthetic heart out to bring it to T'Challa, the scene is halted when we see her mother Ramonda coming from the other room. You can see the sadness, dread, and fear in their eyes.
Your brother is with the ancestors.
This movie is a tribute to T'Challa, but more importantly, Chadwick Boseman, an incredible actor and human being. Although I wish we could have seen him one last time, I think it's a good way to move into Shuri's story. Harsh, cold open, I know. Let's move on. In this movie, there are some aerial shots like this one that look so real, and some of them look like graphics from Halo on the original Xbox. Let's up the ante, because it's 1 year later and now we're in Switzerland, where an international engineering conference is being held. Interestingly enough, this is not another Geneva convention. It's just a conference that happens to be in Geneva. I don't know, I was confused about that when I first watched this, so maybe you were too. Here Ramonda enters, and bro, she is buff. Love to see it. This scene portrays the tension between Wakanda and specifically France, because we see that a group from the French military was sent to steal what vibranium Wakanda had at their outreach center. They were stopped, however, by the Dora Milaje, the Wakandan all-woman military. I want to like this action scene, but there are so many cuts, it's really hard to tell what's going on. What can you do? My favorite part from this whole scene is that Aneka is using knives that Shuri gave to her to try out, but Okoye reminds her that their foremothers gave them the spears because
it is precise, elegant, and deadly.
But I just cannot get over the fact that we literally see Aneka slice multiple guns in half with these things, and we even hear a stab sound, which she literally stabs a guy multiple times. But when she takes him to the ground and stabs him, he just gets electrocuted. Like, literally nothing happens. You'd think it would be able to go through his body. Leg, no problem. Neck, no problem. Chest, that's gonna be an issue, buddy. Also, just genuinely curious how they know to do this when there's no audio cue. Like, I think it's sick. How do they know? Telepathy? Anyways, the Dora Milaje walked the French military attackers into the conference room in just about the coolest way possible.
Je vous en prie.
This whole scene not only shows France's willingness to steal vibranium, but it also shows the fact that vibranium is very heavily wanted by the rest of the world, and Wakanda needs to protect it because they're not giving it away. Ramonda warns France and the rest of those listening that any other attempts like this one will essentially be a reason to start a war. That's so fun. From there, we move to a ship somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean, attempting to find vibranium at the bottom. A helicopter lands on the ship, and it's none other than Dr. Graham, who I just realized is not actually named in this movie at all. She's just kind of like this random person helping them find vibranium. I don't know why that's funny to me. Inside the ship, we see Salazar and Jackson descending into the water in heavy diving suits. Upon reaching the bottom, Salazar forgets what the term touchdown means.
We've touched down.
No, you haven't! When they actually do make it to the drill they're looking for, they speak like robots at 2% battery.
Yeah, it's astonishing.
Obviously, they encounter vibranium.
Oh, me. Vibranium in the ocean.
Spitty, we know, I just said that. This acting is so bad. Back in the depths, the divers see something fly past them. Ooh, it's a phantom jellyfish. Salazar is too excited to notice. Wait a minute, where's Jackson? Oh, he's dead. Salazar, being a brain-dead idiot, forgets to request to be brought back to the surface, and oops, she's dead now too. Bye-bye. Back in the boat, a guard sees the Illuminati in the water singing a beautiful tune. All the guards start jumping off into the water because it's party time. And this guy can't hear anything. He just took a whiff of some smelling salts, I guess. Smitty and Dr. Graham hear it too, and Smitty, being a genius, asks the hard-hitting questions.
Wes, how copy?
I actually can't tell if this was an oversight or if they meant to put this in the movie. Smitty is such an idiot. Wes has better things to do than listen to this guy's poor grammar skills, so he jumps in too. Dr. Graham puts some earplugs in before giving Smitty his own because she's tired of listening to him too. But then she decides to join the dumb train because she thinks it's the Wakandas. Silly little Graham, you're in Avatar the Way of Water now. One of these blue dudes sends a spear into Smitty, killing him before he can learn proper English, and Graham fires shots like a tennis player. Since that didn't work, she runs away at top speed. What is this? Run a little faster, dude. They wouldn't have spears in your back so easily. Graham gets onto the helicopter in the nick of time, and as they fly away, she realizes that blue means not Wakandan. Great job! But this isn't the time for being smart, because someone grabs the helicopter and sends it spinning in the funniest way before sending it into the ocean. Next, we see Okoye and Ramonda flying back home from the conference, and the way they open the wall to get into Wakanda is kind of hilarious. One thing to note here is how nice the aerial shot of the city looks here. Keep that in mind. Back in the lab, Shuri is working on a rapid emergency response task. That seems pretty cool. I wonder if this will have any importance later. Because it's been a year since T'Challa's passing, Shuri and Ramonda go for a drive, leading them to a nice campfire by the ocean. Did anyone bring s'mores? They have a nice little, he might be dead, but he's not gone chat, but Shuri doesn't believe in that stuff, and it's causing her mental torment. She doesn't want to burn them clothes, so she threatens to burn the world. Ramonda almost tells us something important about T'Challa, but wait, why are those elephants screaming? Ramonda pulls a spear out of her inventory as they go investigate, and Shuri is confused why Ramonda is trying to attack the elephants. But hold up, your majesty, the elephants are the least of your concern, because it's Namor! Namor? 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 Namor! The ruler of the underwater kingdom Talokan, fluttering in with his little wing feet. Why does this remind me of the Bee Movie?
Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground.
Namor asks for the help finding and killing the scientists that made the machine America was using to dig vibranium, but Ramonda isn't interested in hearing Flutter Feet speak, so she gets a little mad. Namor doesn't really like that, so he threatens them with his big ol' army, gives them a shell, cause phones don't work underwater, makes sure the vibranium detector is nice and warm, and swims away. In the next scene, Ramonda chats with the council, which causes some tension, but they decide to.
Find the fishman and kill him.
Because
if we do what he is asking for now, what is to stop him from coming back and asking for more?
Because that's a logical conclusion to come to, right? Or maybe they...
We have to find this scientist after all.
Because that's also logical, I guess. What was the point of that meeting? Okoye wants to bring Shuri with her to find the scientist, and Ramonda is hesitant, but Shuri can hear them because they are talking with their outside voices right in front of her.
So, when are we leaving so I can see my favorite colonizer?
So, we head to Alexandria, Virginia, the greatest state in all of America. Here we see Everett Ross jogging along as all former CIA/Deputy Task Force commanders for the Joint Counter-Terrorist Center do in their free time. He spots a fly-shaped drone sent by Shuri because she's socially anxious and doesn't know how to say hi like a normal person. Also, as someone that uses AirPods regularly, they should not be leaking noise that much. Ross, I think you need to get some bigger ear tips or something, man. Those are not working too well, buddy. They let Ross in on the whole sitch, and he brings up the situation with the ship on the Atlantic. He thinks it was Wakanda that was behind it, which is fairly reasonable, seeing as this is about vibranium, although Graham literally said it was blue people on the radio, so I don't know what to believe anymore. For some reason, Shuri and Okoye have no idea what he's talking about. I mean, they don't have to be clueless to be innocent. They can't tell him who it actually was because Namor said so. And Okoye somehow knows this too. Maybe Ramonda mentioned it off screen, otherwise I have no idea how she would know this. I feel like it would make more sense for Shuri to have to kind of hold her back, just to kind of create a little bit of importance to this reasoning behind not telling him. Also, maybe a little bit of trust. If you're not telling your own people why you can't tell Ross, Maybe Ross will understand that it's a little bit more important than just not being able to tell him. But I guess he got over this lack of trust pretty quick, because he tells them who the scientist is, and even prefaces with the fact that
there are agents who have been sentenced to death for less than I'm about to give you now.
Dude, what? And yes, I realize he owes Shuri his life, but risking your job or even your own life for this? Really? Come on, dude. Come on. What are you
The
doing?
U.S. needs another machine, and this kid is the only person in the world who knows how to build one. So they're coming for her.
A kid?
Turns out the scientist is Riri Williams, a student at MIT. She's a genius and secretly does homework for other students that apparently are rolling in it.
It's a band today.
I mean, $1,000 for one project? Also, Venmo doesn't do this. He literally could have just shown her the screen like he does 2 seconds later. Phones are so inaccurate in movies. I don't understand. It doesn't need to be exciting, bro.
I've got it from here.
Wait, maybe I should speak with her. It will be more discreet.
I can be discreet.
Okay, that was funny. So Shuri goes to find the student. Why is this person standing like that? What is that? Riri fangirls over the princess and they bond over their intelligence. And it turns out that the vibranium detector she built was just a project for her class that I suppose the CIA took for themselves. Okay.
Gather your things and come with me. Right now.
I got differential equations class in like 15 minutes.
Sorry, Riri, but it looks like summer's coming early because we gotta go. So they head to her garage and grab...
My work laptop.
And apparently she leaves all of her computers on when she's gone. You know, for a genius kid, you'd think that she would understand what power conservation means. Whatever.
To be young, gifted, and black, though, right?
But that's not important right now because Jarvis is here to tell them that the feds are onto them. Okay, that's a bit unnecessary.
God, I was doing so well. I think that I'm actually gonna take my chances with this merman because at least he never brought the FBI to my garage.
Chill out, dude. Whoa. Don't worry, though. Everything's fine because we have a 1972 Plymouth Barracuda 440, a motorcycle, and a freaking jetpack? What? Please tell me she had some kind of help building this thing, because otherwise, why is she at MIA getting a degree when she could just build things? Explain. Movie, please.
Give me a visual.
Okay, hold up. Either she has knurling in her eyeballs, which was not previously discussed, this is just coming up now, or she pulled an Iron Man dirt bike helmet out of her inventory, because what is the logic behind this? Now that's an actual crime. There's a drone locked onto the pair, of course, but Riri's got it, just 30,000 feet into the air without an oxygen mask. Guess Iron Man didn't teach us anything.
Altitude 500 feet and falling.
Wait, nope, she would have hit the water and died because it takes 6 seconds to fall 700 feet and that was less than 6 seconds. Movie! No matter how cool it looked, this is still a crime. Also, wasn't Riri just spewing her guts out about how bad this situation was for her future after being threatened multiple times by strangers that just showed up to her doorstep, fully willing to kidnap her? I would hope that this is the last thing that she would do. But a lack of oxygen makes you forget things, apparently. So, whatever. Okay, Riri must have 9 lives, because without any sort of head protection, this would have killed her. Look at that look at the whiplash! That would have killed her. Okay, as much as I want to believe in the realism of this movie, I know they're just gonna get up and walk this off. So can I just mention the disrespect for this car? Dude, what I would do for that kind of car. Oh my gosh. Wait. Is that a different car now? That's a Challenger. It was a Barracuda before. You can't trick me, movie. You can't get me like that, man. Whoa, baby, here come the Talocon. Big ol' fight that means nothing. Water! Why don't they just throw the water bomb either before or immediately after jumping on the bridge instead of doing this big ol' fight scene? Shuri and Riri are unconscious. If you knock Okoye off the bridge, you could just get away like you did later. What is the point of that fight? How does water, and apparently air as well, work in these oxygen masks? You take one breath of air, you breathe it back out, it's all CO2. I don't even want to think about how this works with water, but somebody needs to explain this to me, how this logically works. How does this make any sense? Well, the queen isn't going to be happy that you lost Shuri.
Director de Fontaine?
Really?
Divorce tension.
Got an MIT sticker on it. I want that transferred to the NSA immediately. Hey, Ross, you got a full tank of gas?
You will be stripped of your rank as general of Wakanda's armies and your status as Dora Milaje.
The queen is not happy that you lost Shuri. This takes us to Haiti, where Nakia lives. Seeing as Nakia wasn't there at T'Challa's funeral, it's a bit awkward. Ramonda asks Nakia to help her get Shuri back. Nakia is hesitant, which makes sense because she's lived a completely different life for the past 6 years, but she goes anyways. This brings us to a cave at the entrance of Namor's home, Atlantis. Namor shows Shuri a bracelet, and Shuri immediately knows every detail about it, and somehow gathers that Namor's mother was a human. Cause, well, convenience. Here we get a flashback that tells us about Namor's people's history. Basically, they pray to their god, which leads them to a blue plant, which kills them. But it's fine, because they wake up blue and unable to breathe. Top tier acting, guys. Really good. To the water! What told them to go to the water? Like, reasonably, they would just suffocate and die. End of movie. No movie. Movie wouldn't even happen. But without this, we wouldn't get to see water birth!
My mother mourned the life on land that she once knew.
Okay, I'll admit that was pretty sick. Namor wants to bury his mother in the soil their people came from, which makes sense, but if Namor can breathe air and live on land just like humans, what stopped him from seeing his people's land before this? I mean, when they go, they already have water masks, so it's odd to assume that they made these just to not breathe outside of the water. I know this is supposed to be like a very important part of his villain arc, but I just cannot get over those boxers, bro. In every scene, boxers! So Namor hates humans. This is all just a roundabout way of explaining how he got his name. Basically, all the people that he killed called him Niño Sin Amor. The boy without love. Namor. Brilliant, buddy. Brilliant. I just think it's hilarious that he said, my enemies call me Namor, but the only enemies that he's encountered are basically just helpless Spanish dudes. Now, Namor says
that you can understand why I have to kill the scientist.
But honestly, I don't understand the correlation between people that took his home from him and a child that built a machine that the CIA is using against him. Okay? I don't know, maybe it just wasn't explained well enough. Anyways, Namor takes Shuri down to his kingdom because she offered to stay with him so that the scientist can go back to Wakanda, which is a terrible deal for Namor, but he takes her up on it anyways. Also, Shuri has to wear like a diving suit because otherwise she'll experience hypothermia and probably die down there. And it's just super convenient that the Americans were mining vibranium right above his home, because otherwise they wouldn't have these sweet suits to take Shuri down with him. Morbid and convenient. Lit. Here we get to see the Talokan capital city, but there's copyrighted music in this scene, so moving on. Nakia is able to track down Shuri's location because she's still wearing her air rings. Get it? Air tag? Air rings? Oh, forget it. She goes down there and finds her. Wait a minute. Where are the earrings? I thought she was wearing them! How did Nakia track her if she's not wearing the earrings? Where are they? How did Nakia find her? What? Namor tells Shuri that he wants to take over the world. Obviously, Shuri tells him that that's insane, and in return, Namor threatens all of Wakanda. How fun. Basically, this entire movie only happens because T'Challa let the whole world in on the existence of vibranium in 2018, which led to America searching for it, causing Namor's insatiable appetite for world domination. Thanks, Obama. At the Central Intelligence Agency, Rots convinces Big Guy on the other side of the table not to let the president attack Wakanda because, for some reason, he's confident Wakanda isn't the reason for these attacks. I guess word of mouth is enough for this movie. Nakia ends up killing one of the Talakani people. Can't wait to see how that goes. Shuri and Ramonda are back together again, but this little snitch tells Namor that the Wakandans did it. Oops. Namor gathers his people to get them ready for war without moving his mouth. How is he yelling? Next, we see the Talokan at the gate to Wakanda, and this does not look too good. But trust me, these aerial shots only get worse from here. I'm just now realizing that this gate is supposed to be like the safest way for Wakanda to protect themselves from the rest of the world. But if it doesn't even go into the water at all, what is stopping any nation from just using a submarine? Who is the Wakandan general that designed and manufactured this thing? Because I need to have a word with that guy. Or gal. Or gal. Don't worry, Okoye. It's just the blue people sending a wet little surprise. The Talokan may have orcas, but we have Monsters, Inc. Oh, no, they're jumping off the... Okay. Bye-bye. Why is this something the Queen has to do? Why isn't there like an operator in charge of this?
Can I help? Go quickly.
How does Riri just know how to use this technology? It is something that she has never seen and probably is incomprehensible considering she still uses an iPhone.
Primitive.
Surely there isn't a simple way to defeat him, right? This beeping is literally just a handheld kitchen timer. Namor totally destroys these ships, but for the only time in an action movie, they don't blow up when they collide. After cutting an entire ship almost perfectly in half, why is he running away here? I mean, yeah, he needs to get back to the water, but why is he running across the bridge? Just cut the ship in half. Movie over. Namor eventually gets under the water so he can get behind the ship, which is smart, but then he uses his smooth brain and stabs the cockpit. Like, he didn't damage anything vital for the flight of this plane. Oh, it's going down. Okay. Namor tries to stab the glass in between him and the Queen, but that doesn't work so well, so... Staring contest!
Go, John. Wait, what? And leave you here?
Since when did Riri become a fearless soldier? For the entirety of this movie, she has been absolutely fearful of every single thing that has occurred anywhere near her. Why is she all of a sudden afraid to leave the Queen behind? You are the one in danger, bro! Leave! Gotta go! The Queen dies now because of you! This is your fault! If you weren't there, you wouldn't slip into the little hole with the Queen. She could have woken up and just swam up to the top. Riri should be the most hated character by all of the Wakandans. She really should be. It's her fault that the Queen's dead. This is not what defibrillators do. With another one of Shuri's family members dead, it's obviously the perfect time to check up on Ross and his relationship with his ex-wife. Turns out she knew about the beads all along and was listening in every time he was chatting it up with the Queen. Jealous much? Jeez, dude.
The Wakandans saved my life. You ever thought for a second what they could be doing? Ever thought what we would be doing if the US was the only country in the world with vibranium?
I actually dream about that.
Val, please.
It's Director Desfontaine.
Good plan, Roz. You really knocked it out of the park. It's so good. Why? Why did he pick up the beads? There's literally no point.
The Black Panther has never failed to protect Wakanda.
I thought the Black Panther was gone.
Brother is dead, but it doesn't mean the Black Panther is gone.
Except that this is literally what you said that it meant earlier in this movie. I get it, okay? Character development, yay! Shuri and Riri take a trip down memory lane to remember what diffusion is, realizing that water is what makes them more strong, so they need to find a way to dry them out. And oh my goodness! There you have it, folks, just about the worst graphics I have ever seen in a Marvel movie. I seriously wish I had recorded my reaction in the theater because, let me tell you, my jaw was on the floor. Who greenlit these shots? Seriously. Who greenlit this movie? Anyways, as the council tries to decide who should rule Wakanda, Shuri and Riri get to work. With a little bit of chemistry here, some hammer to metal there, and a few glowing Christmas ornaments here, Shuri takes the now successfully recreated heart-shaped herb and, oh cool, Michael B. Jordan's in this movie. Anyways, the Black Panther is back. Yay!
Can I get some of that too?
No, Riri, you will die. Cool suit, bro. One quick arm wrestle later, and Shuri's the Black Panther confirmed. So, the Wakandans make a plan to lure Namor out of the sea so they can kill him, risking
eternal war.
For some reason, M'Baku is totally fine with this plan, so they head out. Namor is warned of another vibranium machine in the ocean, so the Talokan go to destroy it, but it sends out a high-pitched sound that I will save you from listening to, because I think you're pretty cool. Smash like. The Talokan swim to the surface to save their ears. It turns out this was all part of the Wakandans' plan to get Namor out of the sea and away from Wakanda. The ship is revealed, and Shuri begins the classic Kosa Ibambe. The ship is revealed, and Shuri begins the classic Kosa Ibambe chant. The ship is revealed, and Shuri begins the classic Kosa Ibambe chant. Jeez, why is that sequence of words so hard to say? Oh my gosh. I'll get it this time. The ship is revealed and Shuri begins the classic Kosei Bombay chant. Dude, I actually did it. That was actually the next take. Okay, I'm leaving that in. Namor jumps out of the water, easily taking out multiple ships, and we get to see Iron Riri's new suit, which is cool and all, but it has some flaws that will come up in this fight. Back under the water, we see that the ship is emitting those very lovely sounds that basically stun the blue folk, but somehow this very resilient one easily swims to it and breaks it. I suppose this is what allows them to get onto the ship, but it didn't prevent them from just swimming to the surface before, so maybe not? I don't know. The Dora Milaje are repelled down to stop them, and Shuri does a super cool unnecessary flip to shoot big boy noise from her suit. Would this not also affect the Dora Milaje that were just repelled down there? Pretty sure that sound can be heard by them as well.
Mr. Grillo, I could really use that backup right now.
Why does Riri have to ask for backup? Shouldn't the backup already be here? Or, at the very least, shouldn't the AI just do it without her saying that? Namor easily knocks Riri out of the sky because she's just another flying object.
He's fast. I'm faster.
Are you, though? Because I'm pretty sure a fully metal suit would need at least as much power as you have to just get off the ground, let alone be faster than this guy.
Got you.
Okay, I know I've been picky about a lot of specific things in this movie, but how come in every single superhero movie, the hero has to say something cool before they do the cool thing? Like, just do the thing and let it speak for itself. Why is it so hard? This shot makes Namor completely lose control, because I suppose he's never taken a hit in his life, and the cookie baking oven ship takes him away. He starts drying up, and it seems like he might finally be defeated, so the Wakandans start to retreat back. But wait! You guys forgot about all the blue people still on your ship. Wait, she's been down there that whole time? Are you kidding me? Okay, either it works to deter them, or it doesn't. Movie, choose please. Also, why does she wait until now to grab the bomb out of her inventory? You mean to tell me that the spear getting stuck in the ship is what prevented her from grabbing that giant thing out of her pocket? Anyways, bomb go boom boom and
Sonic emitter has been destroyed.
Here comes backup and wait, are those all bombs? That would destroy much more than just that ship and everyone on it. It's game over. Movie done. That's it. They win. More bomb go, more boom boom, and now the ship is sinking. Water fight! But wait, because the Midnight Angels decided to show up now that we're in trouble. I mean, I guess then there wouldn't be a cool reveal that isn't that cool. Also, they're waterproof, I guess. That could have been useful to prevent them from setting off bombs under the ship. Back in the sauna, it took far too long for Namor to realize that all the power to the ship was directly underneath him, so he stabs it. Great planning, guys.
The ship could explode at any second.
Which it does. From here, the movie jumps back and forth between the Wakandas doing their best to hold off the Talakani and ensuing the fight between Shuri and Namor, which looks more like a Bollywood fight than Bollywood itself. Dude, I hate it when movies do this. Why do we need to see her face? He can understand what she's saying. We know who it is. Why do we have to see her face? Seemingly for no reason, Wakanda becomes cornered in the back of the ship. There isn't like a distinct moment that leads to this. It's just kind of like, oh, we're reaching the climax, sort of, almost. So I guess we need tension now. So let's be worse than the other side.
We may be going to join them.
The acting! Shuri kicks Namor onto the ground directly next to his spear, which he sends through her stomach. Surely she dies, right? Namor, what are you doing? Getting a little tired there, buddy? Is a finishing blow too much to ask for? Should have gone for the head, I guess. Namor struggles to get into the water because he fight hard and he thirsty. But wait, what is Shuri doing? Shuri, no. Shuri, no, that thing is preventing bleeding. If you take that out, why is there no blood on that spear? You're seeing this, right? I can show this on YouTube. What? Oh, okay. So the suit just heals all wounds now. Cool.
Wakanda Forever.
Oh, cool. He's dead now. But the ship already exploded. Either way, if it was able to explode a second time, why not just blow it up before you get stabbed? Then you get to avoid all of the indigestion due to spear ingestion. What is the point of drawing this on for so long? So that we can hear Namor say this?
Oh,
Because Namor is fire resistant, Shuri gets the chance to kill Namor here, but decides not to because she's experienced the same pain as him. This is just another Batman v Superman, to be honest. Where is she? Namor yields, but in his own language. And I don't hear Shuri's AI translate this into a language that she understands, so how does she know that he's surrendering? Why would she let up? This would just cause more confusion. So we return back to the ship where the Telekani have won this battle. It's over for the Wakandans. But they're at a standstill because they know not to kill them, I guess. Convenience. Bro, there are so many fish people on the side of that ship alone. I literally counted like 200 just on this side of the ship. And we turn around and you can see there's more on the other side. Why did they stop? They should not be at a standstill. The Wakandans should be dead. I don't get it. I just don't understand. Someone explain, please. Somebody help me. Magically, even though the ship was blown up twice, here comes Shuri and Namor on it. They're best friends now, so the Telekani kneel. Everyone is happy now, and M'Batu hears the voices in his head tell him that Chipotle sounds really good right now. He agrees. Without any sort of agreement, like a treaty or anything other than what they verbally spoke to each other, which pretty sure Shuri wouldn't have understood, what is stopping Namor from coming back? This movie is the king of convenience, oh my goodness! Okay, moving on. Back in Wakanda, Shuri plants more flowers so they can harvest heart-shaped herbs for the future, which is wholesome. And back in the lab, Riri's Challenger is in pristine condition again. How is this possible? A car that has been submerged in the ocean does not work anymore. Doesn't matter if you find all the pieces. Water and engine don't work together. How does this happen? But wait, we forgot about someone. Ross is still a traitor and a criminal, so Okoye breaks him out. I don't even want to get into the kind of problems that this creates for Ross or all of Wakanda. Back in Haiti, Shuri meets with Nakia again. She burns the white outfit she wore to T'Challa's funeral, and with that, she lets go, and her pain fades away. After this, Nakia joins Shuri by the campfire for the end credit scene, and dude, let me tell ya, I burst into tears in the theater. That makes this almost worth it. But if you want to know why, go watch it for yourself. It's on Disney+. And with that, that's all from this guy. Smash the like, subscribe. See you later. Okay. That's it.